What is going on? Holy cow. I think I am ready to go. How's everybody doing this fine morning, even afternoon, whatever time of day this crazy video finds you? Got Laramie, I think, was the first one in, that crazy guy. Ben, whoop, holy cow, it's going to start moving. Ben, good to see ya. Ryan, good to see ya. Joe, Roger, all right, sweet. Matt, good to see ya. Victor, Blake, got your message. Eileen, good morning. Michael, morning. Good turnout. Holy cow. Everybody letting everybody know. Mr. White. Tad, good to see ya. Todd. Tyler, awesome. There's the Laramie. Grumpy Con Games, good to see ya. Grumpy Con, let me see. Do you got a website? You won't be able to type it in the chat. Grumpy Con Games. Grumpy Cat Games. That's what it wants to change it to. Sweet, thanks, Blake. Ryan, good to go. Gabe, good to see ya. Everybody waiting at the doors. Yeah, I was a minute late. I was actually early, but I was checking on something. I had a couple links I wanted to grab quick. How'd the honor flight go with your dad? That's in October 12th, Ryan. October 12th is the flight. So the event that I went to, I guess it was last weekend. It seemed like 2 weeks ago. It was good. It was just the orientation. So like getting a shirt, jacket, getting down some medical information, learning how to walk people like my dad around, push him in a wheelchair, kind of what to expect, where people are going to sit. They got this stuff down to a science, I'll tell you. Thank you for asking. Yeah. Just rolled out of bed. It's nice. Okay, good. Good to know. Oh, my God. Look at this guy. Mr. Hobbs. Good to see ya. Fraser. Good to see ya. Dorcas. What are you doing here? Does it get old? I'm sorry. It just doesn't. Grumpy Corn Games. Shoot. Sorry. Grumpy Corn Games. What's the YouTube channel looks like, huh? Such a silly monkey. Grumpy Corn Games. Got it. All right. Just a drive-through profile? Okay, excellent. You got some games up there? Grumpy Corn Games drive-through. Grumpy Corn, all one word. Let's see if this will get me to... Drive-through. Google's not getting me to the drive-through page. Search Sedna Republic of the Oort Cloud. I will search. That was going to be my second guess. Starting to auto finalize here. Okay, all right. Josh. There we go. I've seen that product before. All right, excellent. Tim, I'm here at the moment, but I'll be popping in and out. Too much to do today. Oh, come on. You sound like my old roommate, Pistol Pete. Shit's got to get done. All right. I think we're good. Let's get to, so good to see everybody. Thanks for joining. Really appreciate it. I'm Sean. I stream every Saturday at 8 a.m. Central U.S. time, the only time zone in the entire world. If you're going to YouTube, you might as well be a narcissist. Let's get into the question of the day, shall we? Question of the day. All right. Now, I hinted at this last week. Okay. So this is you should know this. You should have prepared, if you will. And if you're a good game master, well, then maybe you don't have to prepare. Not that good game masters prepare and bad ones don't, or good ones don't, and bad ones do. Anyways, 3, I'll let you get away with 3, but I'm looking for 5. That's a lot. 5 RPG. We'll go with games, okay? Not supplements, just games that should be, in your opinion, in the RPG Hall of Fame. We're taking nominations. We're gonna build the building, okay? We're gonna start putting in the displays. We need to know, when you first walk into the RPG Hall of Fame, what 5 RPGs will you run into in that first 15 to 30 feet? Because we only want one movement. We only want it to take one movement action. Okay. We only want it, right? Right, Jeremy?
Right.
No wrong answers. I'm confused already. Hobbs, we're speaking the same language and I can't speak any slower. William, good to see you. Morning, Wayne. Oops, RPGs, some RPGs don't require much prep. They don't, you're right. So, I don't know about that, Blake. You gotta try to put them all in one comment, though. Otherwise, I'm gonna be scrolling all over the place. Grumpy Corn Game says lasers and feelings. I would not have seen that one coming, but okay. I didn't prepare, so off the cuff D&D. Well, do we do it by edition, or is it just D&D? Probably D&D, right? It's a game. There's just different versions. I don't know. Traveler, Vampire, Cyberpunk, Paranoia. I'd say that's a good list. D&D basic set. Basic box. Moldvay, right? Moldvay, not Beckme. Gotta specify here, Salt Heart. What's the other one? There's the blue box. That's not considered basic, right? But it's either going to be Beckme basic, right? Mentzner box set, or is it? Help me out, OSR people. I'm so confused. I don't know what is considered what anymore. Besides D&D, that one is a given as the one that started it all. I mean, I think that's. We can't. Who are we kidding? We got to put D&D in there, right? Probably just D&D. D&D. Hey, this is how it started. 50 years. Congratulations. Oops, I took the question of the day off. Here we go. Michael Holland says D&D, WEG Star Wars, Call of Cthulhu, Vampire the Masquerade, Palladium riffs. Ooh, riffs. Need some riffs. I do. I got to spice it up a little bit, Gabe. A little spice. D&D, Call of Cthulhu, Shadowrun, Marvel Phaser Rip, and Apocalypse World by Tyler. So there's some fine games. White Box BX, AD&D 5e Osric. Dude. Hobbs, no LFG, buddy? Wow. Hey, can't believe a shill for Pickpocket Press has not publicly marketed. Steve is going to be ticked off, man. Steve, we cannot be responsible for some of the things that some of our folks in the chat say, okay? Just saying. Especially folks that run a lot of your games. Todd Crapper, D&D original white box, Call of Cthulhu, Pendragon. See, now when we say Call of Cthulhu, we never say Call of Cthulhu 5th edition. We don't say Call of Cthulhu 2nd edition, right? Is it because Call of Cthulhu is never really, like the changes from one version to the next isn't so crazy that it's just, well, you know, if you're playing Call of Cthulhu 2nd edition, you're essentially playing Call of Cthulhu 7th edition without maybe the push mechanic or whatever. Michael Holland says D&D, Wake Star Wars, Call of Cthulhu, Vampire the Masquerade. I already said Michael's. Why am I saying it again? Because Michael's awesome. Okay, that's it. Flint, we're opening the D&D. We're opening the RPG Hall of Fame, okay? And we need 5 RPGs that should be at the forefront. The first one's in. First displays in that Hall of Fame. Laramie trying to clarify my question, not to Hobbs. He said 5 games, not the game 5 times. Tim not short of opinion. D&D, Call of Cthulhu, Shadowrun, another one we don't say editions, right? Vampire the Masquerade. Because some will say, oh, dude, not that version, right? Not that edition. Too funny. Call of Cthulhu, Shadowrun, Vampire the Masquerade, Apocalypse World as the first 5. Fate might be number 6. Okay, what about Fudge? Can't have Fate without Fudge, right? What's this guy talking about? Is Fate a type of ice cream and Fudge is the topping? Matt Catron, good to see you. D&D, Call of Cthulhu, Vampire the Masquerade, Deadlands, and Traveler. Saltheart says Beckby basic red box. That's the one he's referring to. Okay. All right. Not Moldve. Holmes is basic. Holmes is basic, right? There's Holmes basic, Moldve basic, and Mensner basic. Yeah. Who could possibly get confused with like what D&D is? Capricorn continues. Traveler, number 2, 3 BRP, 4 D&Ds, OG, original game, and then 5 Braunstein. Look at this. Yeah. It's Braunstein. Oh, wow. Going way back, baby. If you don't know what Braunstein is, Wesley, Mr. Wesley. Ooh, if you ever get Mr. Wesley at a Gary Con, buckle in, folks. He's a talker. Very nice guy. Braunstein, for some of those that view that and know, that is the one that Mr. Wesley had developed right around the time that Gary and Dave Arneson were talking about Dave's Blackmore and Gary's D&D and yeah, good or chainmail, I should say. Gabe says original white box to number 2, first edition AD&D, 3 Traveler, 4 Call of Cthulhu, 5 Rollmaster 2E. Wow. You know, sometimes you're like, yeah, I know. I know what that's coming in at. What is going on here? My camera keeps moving. I'm not very happy about that. I like put the locks down on that thing. There we go. Keep moving around. Silly monkey. Sorry about that. Ryan West, Vampire the Masquerade, Gamma World, Shadowdark, the best version of D&D. Woof, woof. Strong words. Strong words. WEG, Star Wars, and Traveler. I think all those additions would be HOF, Hall of Fame. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Hey, let's give Hobbs a little credit here. No wrong answers. It is kind of a technicality, though. We got to figure that out when we get the committee together. Like, are we going to go off additions, or are we just going to go off of RPG? Boom. And it's funny because, well, wait a minute, Sean. You know, you're doing it for D&D, but you're not doing it for, like, the other ones that have, like, 5 versions. Like, what about GURPS? Or, you know, Shadowrun or Call of Cthulhu? They have multiple editions, and you're not breaking it down by, you know, breaking that game down. That's my advisor. It's my advisor voice. Blake says Dragonbane. Look out! Monster of the Week, WEG Star Wars, The Between, and Vampire the Masquerade. Okay. Question is scrolling on the screen as we speak, Joe Swick, but it is. We're opening up the Hall of Fame. What 5 games must be in the first 30 feet? In the first single move action. Aaron, good to see you. D&D, Traveler, MERP, GURPS, and COC. All right. I got to go with... I'll keep going because there's a lot of people are still chiming in. Laramie says, I love OSR. I don't care about the nitpicky difference between the 15 different versions of D&D in the 70s and 80s. So, like Castles and Crusades? Oh! Shots fired. Tad, Call of Cthulhu, Rune Quest, Apocalypse World, Quiet Year, and Traveler. Uh-oh. Oh! Saltheart. He's like, he types it in. There's his finger, and he's like, click. Rollmaster. Wayne, AD&D, Apocalypse World, Vampire, WEG, Star Wars, Rune Quest. Gabe says, I agree with Aaron now. I think GURPS should replace one of my choices. See, a little persuasion, if you will. Harrigan, good day. Good to see you. Got a question. This guy's answer is going to be interesting. Harrigan, we're opening the Hall of Fame, RPG Hall of Fame. There's one movement action of 30 feet. What 5 games are the first entrance into the RPG Hall of Fame? Mr. Hobbs says D&D, Metamorphosis Alpha, Call of Cthulhu, Traveler, Deadlands. Get Hobbs broadening the horizon. Still no Steve Grodzicki games in there, Hobbs. Oof. Come on, dude. Steve, call me if you need another shill. If your shill's not doing good work, let me know. I've already could have given him a couple shout outs. Michael, Holmes Basic, Moldvay Basic, and Mentzner Basic. Yeah, there it is. I'm catching up too. You're with me. I'm not even caught. I'm still way behind. Joe says D&D. He probably found out the question of the day before I even recognized he asked the question. Joe says D&D, Vampire the Masquerade, GURPS, WEG Star Wars, Savage Worlds. Okay, all right. Would Savage Worlds be in there without Deadlands? Just kidding. I don't know. No way LFG could be in there in the Hall of Fame yet. So you're saying, Steve, keep working at it and we'll get there together? Is that what you're saying? Pickpocket Press, go buy his stuff. This stream not sponsored by anyone. Hobbs' 5 favorite sodas: Coke, Pepsi, RC, Shasta Cola, and some other knockoff. Coca-Cola, generic. Yeah, you bet, man. Flint, D&D Red Box, number 1. 2, Gamma World. Number 3, Star Frontiers. I'm starting to see a theme here. Where's he pick up? Where are you, Flint? 4, Top Secret. 5, Marvel Superheroes. This TSR shill will now yield the floor. I was gonna say, oh man, Flint, are you listening to that podcast? Given the TSR like heavy references, I posted it on our Discord, but I will bring it up again because I think it's very any nomination. When We Were Wizards, an oral history of Dungeons and Dragons. I think it's a fantastic podcast. They really put a lot of work into it. Like, no joke. It's a good one. Yeah. There's some things that are not that is in that podcast that aren't in any of the books that I've read. There might be some hints of those things, but in the podcast, man, they kind of put it down and get a lot of people talking about it that were around back then. So you should definitely go and check it out. Orcus Dorcas, based on what changed the hobby. OD&D, Call of Cthulhu, 1E, Cyberpunk 2020, Vampire the Masquerade, and Apocalypse World. All very solid. All these are very solid choices. I would not argue with any of these. Michael says, Fate versus Fudge. That's a whole topic onto itself. What about Amber? What is Braunstein? I don't know that one. Oh, Michael, you got to go. Yeah, go listen to that TSR podcast. Seriously, when we were wizards. Mr. Wesley. I can't remember his name. That's why I call him Mr. Wesley. A lot of that this is talked about. So Braunstein was kind of the first. I think it's Wesley. Wellesley? Oh, shoot, I can't remember. I think it's Wellesley. Wellesley? I don't remember. Anyways, Braunstein. It is one of the first... it's in the Secrets of Blackmoor, too, I think, blog. David Wesley. Yeah, Wesley. So, it's an experimental game and genre introduced by David Wesley, a member of Midwest Military Simulation Association in the late 60s, and originally played in the Twin Cities. So, Mr. Wesley was, Camp Arneson, I think, for quite a while. And Braunstein was an important influential in the history of role-playing games. So I'll put a link to the Wikipedia article, but it talks a little bit about, basically, David served as a referee for Napoleonic War game set in the fictional German town of Braunstein. And he came up with multiplayer, multi-objective game in which he assigned individual roles for each player, including non-military roles. So, for example, he had players acting as town mayor, banker, and university chancellor. Nearly 20 players showed up for the game, which was more than anticipated, and each player was assigned a role in the town of Braunstein. And the players were originally supposed to communicate with the referee in a separate room. So, essentially, in 1969, right, with this timeline, you could say that Mr. David Wesley was one of the first initiatives of like taking wargaming as a unit and boiling it down to single individual characters. And so it's a really important, and this was not lost on Dave or Gary back in the day. So there's the link. Yeah. I mean, it's good to know that stuff, right?
Right.
Yeah, there's Tim. Tim knows. The fact that the vast majority of people refer to D&D by its edition without ever mentioning D&D indicates how much it changes between versions, drafts, and editions. Yeah. This is making me wonder why there isn't an RPG Hall of Fame or museum already. I don't know if I think it's been. I don't know if it's been tossed around. I thought some collectors, may want to see their stuff in like a curated experience. I don't know. Costs money though. Yeah, Braunstein predates D&D by several years for sure. Is Braunstein an actual game? I don't know if you can get it necessarily. I don't know if you can go and download the rules. But it was. Well, and I don't know what, in those games with David Wesley, here, just because I know you guys are now curious. It says on the Wikipedia, drew inspiration from Diplomacy, a game requiring players to negotiate between turns. So the idea of a referee was derived from Strategos, the American game of war by Charles Totten. Totten's book also inspired Wesley with the idea of playing with a game master who would create the scenario for the battle used in the game. So Wesley discovered the idea in N-Player strategy games from The Complete Strategist, 1954 by J.D. Williams. And then Wesley also read and cited as influential Conflict and Defense, a General Theory from 1962 by Kenneth Boulding. So I don't know if David used kind of this method in multiple different games. Hey, we're going to do Napoleonic miniature. I mean, I'm sure there's different miniature games that are Napoleonic miniature based. But I'm sure with David, he probably, used, we're going to do this game but I'm going to implement my Braunstein rules or whatever that looks like. I don't know. There you go. I try, nothing wrong with that. A little bit of history for you. If you never get to see some of the conventions out there, I don't know if North Texas Con, if he goes there, Hobbs might know, but if you ever meet him, he's a really interesting dude, and he's like I said, he's quite a talker. So buckle up, Buttercup. I don't think any of those systems different versions are enough to get them a yellow jacket. Yeah, the yellow jacket, right? Andy Hall, good to see you. Merp, Toon, Weg Star Wars, Boot Hill, Villains and Vigilantes. Woo! Look at those. Look at those early ones. Tim says it was a game, but not published. Arrogant says D&D Call of Cthulhu Champions. Champions is a good one, I guess. And nobody's mentioned. GURPS, Fate, Apocalypse World. Yeah. I would be very similar to what Harrigan put in there, honestly. And you know what? Frankly, I'm not a fan. Let me see, I'm trying to think. I've played all of them. I've probably played Fate the least. And those are start getting pretty far and few between when you rank the amount of times I've played D&D compared to the rest in that list. Metamorphosis Alpha. Oh my goodness. So that was, who is it? Whose game was that? Was that Ward's game? Jim Ward? Right? Metamorphosis Alpha. That's the precursor to Gamma World. And Goodman Games had picked up the license to relaunch it. Hey, let's go back in history, shall we? And talk about some of this stuff. 1976 by Jim Ward for TSR. That's when it was created. So the original edition is set on a generation spaceship, the Starship Warden, which has been struck by an unknown cataclysmic event that killed many of the colonists and crew. Characters must survive their mission in the ship, which they believe to be a world. They no longer understand the technology around them, and they encounter numerous mutated creatures. So this is the precursor to Gamma World. There's, no question about it. If you want to learn more about it. And then Goodman Games picked it up in, I think it's down here, 2015. And I think you can still get it through Goodman Games. Excuse me. But I was not a big Gamma World or Metamorphosis Alpha guy. And in the special section of Hall of Fame, HOL, Spawn of Fashan, Fatal, World of Cinnabar. Oh my goodness. Oh, he caught 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, Harrigan, the assignment was 5, sir. Good call, Gabe. Gold star for Gabe. Roger says, D&D Traveler Fate Apocalypse World Blades in the Dark. First Blades mention. It would be interesting to do the family tree, right? Like get the family tree of RPGs. Where is our genealogists in the RPG hobby? Hobbs says, I was waiting for Fatal. I heard that's up for the second year nominations. I respect all y'all choices, but in my Hall of Fame, the first 5 aren't going to be games from the last 15 years. Well, that's interesting too, right? Like, to say Apocalypse World, Blades in the Dark, Burn 2D6, some of those newer games, to be in that kind of lump and to be considered for the inaugural class of the 2025 Hall of Fame. Runners up. Better be one of the originals you came up with there, tough guy. Runners up: Traveler, WEG, Star Wars, MSH, Mothership. Was that? Oh, God, blast it all. Gotta get some water. Fudge, Vampire 1, Suppose, Into the Odd. Busted. We're not talking favorites in this in the Hall of Fame, baby. That's true. That's true. I mean, that's the thing, right? Can you separate yourself from the games you enjoy from the games that deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? Yeah, 2 episodes in, and so far so good. Yeah, it's a great podcast. Link in the notes. I'll put it in the chat. When We Were Wizards podcast. It's really well produced, I gotta say. I must say. All right, there you go. Oops, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I think you can click on links in the chat when I put them in there, right? I would hope so. Uh-oh, Gabe's calling an audible. Timeout. Says, revised nominations. 1, First Edition. 2, Traveler. 3, Call of Cthulhu. 4, GURPS. 5, Vampire. I would say it's oof. There's a couple, right? You could slice. Like the 3rd or 4th and 5th slot could always be anything. But I think the first one's got to be D&D. The D is the D's and D's. Second one is probably Traveler, maybe. GURPS. Well, man, I might even go Braunstein. I don't know. Maybe Braunstein, just because of the principle of it. Like, hey, how do we bridge the gap from like miniatures wargaming to role-playing games, right? Maybe Braunstein, even though it's kind of a tricky one, right? You can't just go out and buy the game. It was never. I don't think it was ever in production necessarily. It's a tricky one. It could be Braunstein, the concept, versus the game. I mean, even though it was played. Vampire the Masquerade, I never played. So some of these I'm pretty ignorant on. It's definitely had its own influx of players. And I think it was probably the first one that got out of the war, like it's not wargaming, and brought in a lot of different individuals. Like, you know, it wasn't full of middle-aged white guys. Like a lot of, I think many of the females I knew that played role-playing games or back in the day, I think my experience was a lot of them were in that World of Darkness space. It's just my experience. So D&D, maybe Traveler GURPS, Braunstein maybe, and then it could be, I don't know, maybe Apocalypse World, maybe. I say maybe because it's kind of like, it did come quite a bit later, but it's like very interesting where that there's this huge leap in time. Like Apocalypse World came out in what? The 2000s? Like originally? Was it mid 2000s? I know Tim knows. So it's like kind of interesting to kind of, I mean, Champions is a good one for sure too. Champions is a big one. I wouldn't want to downplay Champions. Boot Hill? I don't know. There's a few. I don't want to get into the whole TSR thing too, because I don't think all those were great. Like just because it was TSR in the first kind of generation of RPGs, I don't want to put some that are just because they came out early necessarily. Yeah, Wayne's listening to it. Cool. Ooh, Amber's a good pick. Yeah, Amber, maybe. So different. Wow, I'm really behind. Holy cow. Sorry, guys. Not saying it can't be on your list. It's just too new for me to canonize in the first 5. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, Dave Arneson interested in role-playing at his Braunstein games. Tim's talking about Dave Wesley. Maybe you could Braunstein a proto-RPG. Oof. There's the Blackmore documentary that talks with several people involved in the original Braunstein party. Pretty interesting. Did what's his name? Questing Beast? Did Ben ever bring that up? I thought he had a video on something recently. Did he come up with Braunstein? Did he play Braunstein at GaryCon? He kind of went over it, I think. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't remember. Dave ran the original version of Braunstein games at Gen Con a few years ago, and it was fascinating. Yeah. He's still around. Braunstein was also the first instance of a referee GM making a ruling on the spot. I know the Toy Museum has an RPG library, but it's not an exhibit per se. You can go and research in it though. All those in favor of Sean using some max headroom clips instead say aye. Ask me about it on the Discord about the bank president swimming across the river with a bag of gold and the 2d6 roll. That's hilarious. You played in that game, eh, Tim? See, now that's where I would think, like, you know, it was novel to go to GaryCon and get into a game with some of these pioneers, but oof. Dave's would be interesting just because of that piece, like what he had, like Braunstein. What's that about? Let me play that game. We need a fan with Paul Allen money to open a museum. Yeah. There's a few Braunstein clones out there, is there? That does not surprise me. I've heard the term, thought of it like a power struggle-like game. Good morning. Hey, Shambot, good to see you. Yeah, original Braunstein was set at the start of Napoleon's campaign, while Brownstone was set in an Old West gold rush town. That's right. He did mention Brownstone. Funny. Braunstein and or Braunstein. Braunstein and Brownstone. And anyone bring up H.G. Wells's Tiny Battles? Is that an RPG? Tiny Wars. Tiny Wars. Is that an RPG? Nobody said it. Honorable mention riffs. Ooh, maybe. The reason there isn't a Hall of Fame museum is none of the collectors are willing to donate their preciouses. No, they're not. Okay, I'm having a tough time keeping it down to 5. Yeah? All right, here we go. Fraser says, for impact on RPG design evolution, maybe Chainmail, AD&D, GURPS, Sorcerer. Whoa, some Ron Edwards. An Apocalypse World. Fine selection, Fraser. Yeah, Sorcerer out of nowhere. What's Sorcerer? Ron Edwards, folks. Check it out, man. The man that created the Forge. Ars Magica might be in there too. I mean, you could probably get 10 pretty quick, right? Not sure Burn has earned it. Oh, come on, man. Burn 2d6. Go buy it right now. Tell him Sean sent you. Tell the guy Salt Heart in the chat Sean sent you. I saw your video, man, on the old Solarian Games YouTube channel. I was not there live, but I did see the post video. Those guys. Oh, man. So much to say. A lot of votes for WEG Star Wars, but none for FFG Star Wars. Funky dice? I don't know. D6 Star Wars was different back in the day, right? A little bit. There's mention of Amber. I don't know if anybody's put it down. I think they've said it's interesting. D&D, Traveler, Call of Cthulhu, Twilight 2000, Rune Quest. It's a fine list. Sean, if you're looking for an early and complete list, I tossed a poster in Discord. Thanks. I really love that podcast. Nice. 0 votes for FFG Star Wars, Blake. Harrigan's a hater. It could be the person that ran it for him, too. I don't know. I heard that guy was a tool. Tim says a few games like Amber, The Adventure of Baron Munchausen, Nobliss, and Everway were amazing, but did not have much lasting impact. Yeah. There's a PDF somewhere that gives sort of a generic view of RPG mechanics. I think that gives an interesting interesting view on the evolution of games. When I was working on a history degree, I was going to focus. Interesting. Thanks for supporting the stream, Brandon. My TTRPG museum would have a chronological main hall and hall for most influential games, most influential layout, most influential art styles, etc. Little overlap, though. That's you got to put a lot of N in that. It's got to be like circular, right? And then as you get towards the center, some of those overlap a little bit. Curtis Takahashi, holy cow, good to see you, buddy. How are you? Traveler for the win. Call of Cthulhu, Rune Quest, AD&D, Ring World deserves a mention as well. Holy buckets. Good to see you, Curtis. Hope all is well. Everybody say hi to Curtis. Why GURPS over Champions? Good question. I've played GURPS. I didn't play it back in the day, though. I didn't play GURPS till later. Gabe says, for the record, I also haven't ever played 4 out of 5 of my nominations. That's all right. Much respect for not going to the ones, right? I think that's saying something like, it may not be your game, but you got to kind of like, I think that's another thing too. Like if you're going to be a positive force in the tabletop RPG hobby, part of the whole thing is recognizing games for what they are, whether you like them or not, if they're your bread and butter or not. You don't have to play them. You don't have to like the rules, but you got to recognize it for what it is. So if it brought up a different mechanic or something new that hadn't been seen before, or has like a certain niche, or something was derived from it or something like that, inspired others like that, I think is to be, is to say something, right? Oh, I will step down now. Even though there's a gap, it makes sense. Maybe a gaming dark ages. Yeah. Wayne says Vampire the Masquerade that led to the most first sexual experiences for gamers. GURPS had far more reach. I would say that would be fair. Laramie says, yeah, Gabe, I've played most or all mine, and I don't like most of them. All of the old guard deserve a spot at the top. Tunnels and Trolls, Arduin, Bushido, Villains and Vigilantes. See, I can't. Funny, he puts V and V, and I already know what it is. Villains and Vigilantes, Bunnies and Burrows, Traveler, maybe even Dungeon. Yeah, but Dungeon was a board game. I mean, it is. There's never been anything I've heard about Dungeon that is related to an RPG. It's always been a board game. It's Dave McGarry's Dungeon. Not that it's not a bad game and should be in the Hall of Fame for gaming, but I don't know if it would be in the ARP. As one of the members of the board of the RPG Hall of Fame, I don't know if Dungeon would fit the qualifications of what we're really trying to focus on here. Endless Quest books? Maybe? Yeah. First solo ones? Nah, that's not true either, because Tunnels and Trolls had some solo stuff. All right, I'm catching up. I'm getting there. Hang in there, folks. I promise we'll get on to something today. Champions was first. I doubt that there would be a GURPS without Champions as success. It was the hotness for a while. I prefer Champions myself, but I think GURPS has been more influential. And as far as legacy, I thought it evolved from Fighting Fantasy, which is suitably early. That's another thing, too. Like we could say Fighting Fantasy over GURPS. I mean, if you want to slice, what are the origins or what is the offshoots? Fantasy Trip. Game means fantasy trip. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Got it. There's a clear chronologically. Fantasy Trip to Champions to GURPS. And I think the latter had the most staying power and influence. Ring World deserves a special spot in the most expensive collector pricing wing of the RPG Hall of Fame. Oh, no kidding? No Palladium? Yeah, nobody's mentioned Palladium. Nobody thinks Osric deserves a spot. Osric? Isn't that AD&D? That's like saying, hey, I think OSE should be in there. It's like BX. Somebody did say Osric, though. No one mentioned Burning Wheel. No, they haven't. Burning Wheel, Torchbearer, which is in the news this week, folks. GURPS wins for the largest number of setting splat books. Ooh. Has Riff's got more? Is Riff's going to be wanting Curtis to hold their beer? Or is it indeed GURPS? Could probably be. I don't know. Curtis probably knows better than I do. Michael says, Weg Star Wars and Palladium Rift, still playing them to this day. Talking about the impact Osric had on the hobby beyond being a clone. I don't know, man. I don't think Osric is known as well as people think. Like, sure, in your circles, everybody knows about Osric. I don't think it's like, I don't think a lot of people know that it exists. You say first edition AD&D? Got it. Ty, the one system that should have its own wing is Fate Core and all the narrative systems that borrowed from it, like Cortex Prime. I would not have guessed that, Ty. Ty, are you willing to concede that there are some other games that you may not actually like but also deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? Ryan says, I've tried Palladium several times, mostly for superhero after the bomb. Just never lands for the group. Shadowrun's been mentioned. Osric is small potatoes. I didn't think OSR explode the OSR more. Didn't OSE explode the OSR more? I would say for sure. Yeah, somebody said Shadowrun. Few people said Shadowrun. All right. Woo. Lots of discussion. Love it. Hey, if you're in the chat or if you're coming to this video after the fact, make sure you put down below in the comments your top 5 in the Hall of Fame. Thank you very much, everybody, for participating in this little exercise I like to call crowdsourcing. We should probably go to RPG news.
Right.
All right. RPG news. Probably have more news this week than we've had in the last month. News. Like, I would say maybe like actual news. First off, oh, for Pete's sakes, are they going to let me go? Oh, no. Yes? No? Maybe? Okay, well, we'll see. You don't know who Jeremy Crawford is, Laramie? I saw a video of somebody use that. It was just funny. It's funny. Funny, haha. There you go. Now I lost Laramie. I'm never tuning into that show again. Ever since he put that stupid beam in there, drove me crazy. Dungeons & Dragons empowers autistic players. Study finds. Research reveals popular role-playing game still doing good for people. Game boosts confidence and social skills in autistic adults. The fantasy world of Dungeons & Dragons offers more than just entertainment for autistic adults. Hey, let's face it. Some of us have played Dungeons & Dragons for years, probably before, I don't want to argue the date, when autism became kind of a formal medical thing. But I think we can all say that there's probably been some people we've played with that have been on the spectrum in some degree, as they refer to it as, because I think there's a, how severe or less severe it can be. Role-playing as a social catalyst. The study, led by Dr. Gray Atherton from the University of Plymouth School of Psychology, involved a group of autistic adults who participated in D&D sessions over 6 weeks. Researchers observed the gameplay and conducted in-depth interviews with participants to understand their experiences. It's a good article. Go and check it out if you'd like. We are all aware that it's great. It does great things for people, different types of people. So let's give some recognition to the folks that are putting some science behind it and just like not, hey, some streamer dude said D&D is really good for people. Sure, dude. Like, do you have any evidence of that? Yes, we do. There you go. Next up, Roll20 tabletop effects. Woot woot. Now it's free for all users. Am I lost in saying that maybe it wasn't free at one time and had been in place for a little while and now they're putting it out to everybody? I could be. Big news, everyone. Excited to announce that the Roll20 effects tool has been updated and is no longer restricted to paid GM accounts. Hey-o. Starting today, as of this posting, which is dated August 28th, 2024, by Jamie Boucher of Roll20. All users, player or GM, can access effects via the beta of Roll20's improved tabletop experience, Project Jumpgate. Project Jumpgate. Oh, I remember when it was. I remember Project Jumpgate. It shows it. It's got a little drop-down thingy. Right? There's a little token. Okay, they're going to select one of them. Breath. Look at the breath go across. Booyah. Neato, right? Updates to pre-built effects available to all users. Advanced features for Pro subscribers. We're also introducing several new properties to control effect particle scale, speed, and emission rate based on distance. Giving Pro subscribers more control via the creation of custom effects. Whoa. Adjust the size, color, intensity, other aspects of effects to suit specific situations. Ooh, I have thoughts about this. Everybody knows that I'm a big Forge virtual tabletop guy. But it's always a fine line, right? How many whiz-bang cool things are involved on a virtual tabletop, and then what's the difference between using a VTT and just playing a computer game? Some of them are very obvious, right? But there you go. If you're a Roll20 fan, you like all the cool effects, they're there. You know, they're kind of these platforms are kind of in a weird pickle, right? Like Roll20's been around for a while. One of the complaints some people would have sometimes is, hey, they haven't updated anything in a while. And then if they update like dynamic lighting and how that's handled, or even the effects that are displayed here, like how much is like, well, we got to update things and make it appealing to people. So how do you do that without like alienating people that are like, well, if I wanted all these cool effects and everything, I would just go and play a computer game. But anyways, I don't think it's a bad thing because you don't have to use them, right? Like hey, if you're playing a game, you know, like a rule, just don't use it. Like just change it, right? It's like we've been doing, and some people preach pretty loudly, right? Next up, exciting news from Ripped Tabard Adventures and Troll Lord Games. So Ripped Tabard Adventures, a leader in crafting immersive tabletop role-playing game. Let me put the links in the things before I move on here. Ryan will get mad at me. A leader in crafting immersive tabletop role-playing game experiences for virtual tabletop platforms is thrilled to announce an exciting new partnership with Troll Lord Games, the creators of the beloved Castles and Crusades RPG. This collaboration will bring the rich world of Castles and Crusades to life in the digital realm, with Ripped Tabard Adventures converting Troll Lord Games' acclaimed campaigns, modules, and rulebooks for seamless integration into Foundry VTT. You know, there's some people out there, I know you're gonna find this kind of crazy, but there are some people out there that will like stand behind a tabletop publisher only because they don't do digital. I know, crazy. But now what happens when, hey, I really love Troll Lord Games because they're all about like PDF, print, play, you know, pen, paper, dice, not like that WotC like sigil stuff they're putting out. And then this happens. What's going on? Am I missing something in the chat? If there was an option for sound effects that were just old recordings of a kid making explosion noises, I'd pay for that. I'll implement that. I'll get something for you guys to mess around with. No, Sean, you have to cover your mouth and act like a secret. I heard if you don't like something, you just don't use it. True. Did Laramie take off? See ya, Laramie. Laramie, you should have a really good rest of your day.
Right.
All right. What's up, Reading 8? Good to see you. You have to make an offering to your monitor before you start Roll20 to appease the spiteful dice algorithm. Oh, man. Owlbear is great for a quick setup. It is, for sure. Moving on. So congratulations to those two honey companies coming together for engaging in a relationship. Did I make that really creepy? I did, kind of, did I? Creeper. All right. Hey, Traveler fans, just so you know, Mark Miller is going to pass ownership to Mongoose. Surprised? I don't know. They weren't going to announce this until 2027. Well, change of plans. So it's been in discussion for years, and they explain about talk about it in this article. Mongoose has been publishing Traveler stuff for a long time anyway. So it goes back to 1977, Traveler does, just so you guys know. Has many editions, Game Designers Workshop, Imperium Games, Steve Jackson Games, Mongoose Publishing, all had done Traveler publishing or put out Traveler material. Mongoose has been doing it since 2008. And there has been many as 13 editions of the game. 13 editions. Depending on how you count them. Oh, it's too funny. You got to laugh. You kind of got to laugh. You can't list a little bit. Maybe grin. Come on. Because sometimes we freak. Well, 5th edition. Oh, my God. Wow. So Mongoose's Matt Sprang indicated that this had been in discussion for several years, and the agreement was finally signed in January of this year. So while the announcement wasn't planned for until Traveler's 50th anniversary, which was 2027, the news came out as various licensees were informed. Hey, we got to tell these guys. And Mongoose and Miller have decided to make the change public. So there you go. Fair use, great Traveler projects. There you go. Mark Miller will be at Gamehole Con. So it's good of him to put it in kind of the hands of folks that I think have probably been doing a good job for him, I got to imagine. So Traveler will live on and on and on. Passes ownership, Todd. Passes ownership. Mongoose has been a good steward, yeah. I'll take it. I don't like Mongoose Traveler. That's okay. You don't have to. You don't have to. Truly, seriously. Full disclosure, I thought Mongoose bought Traveler long ago. It's probably hard not to think that, right? All right, see you, Todd. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Hey, everybody, give a like and subscribe before you take off. And if you're still here, hey, all right, do me a favor. All right, next up. D&D 50th anniversary. Whoa, I probably didn't put that in the chat. Oops, that is my email. You do not want to see that. Put some links in here. I'll sprinkle around the links a little bit. Did I put that in there? I think I put that in there. I did not. Whoops. Troll Lord Games. Boom, put that in there. Come on now. I think I'm caught up to things. All of the things. Get some. All right. D&D 50th anniversary gets a Time Magazine special edition. I believe some people have said they've seen it at the grocer, but I thought I saw it on, of all places, LinkedIn, that this thing was going to be released September 6th. It's on the cover. You can't miss it. It's the whole magazine is D&D. So it's not just an article. Like, I think it's the entire, it's a special edition all about D&D. But it's not the first time it was covered. Back in March 2023, WotC's Kate Welch penned an article on the Time website about D&D entitled The Magic of Dungeons & Dragons Save Us. I don't know. Yeah, okay. And then way back in 2008, Time talked about how D&D changed culture. Like, here's the thing, though. Like, no disrespect to Kate in her article, but there's a lot of magazines that have online articles only, and they don't put it in the magazine. Tomato, tomato. It's good to see. I mean, and this is like the whole thing. So it says no word where you can buy this issue, but it was not on the Time website at the time of printing. And I thought I saw a Time representative on LinkedIn say September 6th. So check it out. Also, in addition to that, which Ian World did not put out there, was that there's a documentary out there that Time did as well. Yeah. It's 39 minutes. It was all right. I mean, you could check it out. Better not play it. Don't want to get a C&D. So if you're interested, go and do that. I mean, it is the 50th anniversary, and it's like basically September 1st. By the time we start seeing some of this stuff come out. Like, all right. So, yeah, I watched it. Yeah, I mean, it was enjoyable. What? Don't tell me that was pulled. Oh, wait a minute. What is going on with this? The requested thread could not be found. Did somebody pull it? That URL is no joke. Wait a minute. Interesting. Something is amuck here. I wonder if I can. Interesting. So this link doesn't work, but because of the way I do my workflow, I actually have this article. So, I'm wondering if it got yanked. Okay, so I cannot, how do I share this? It's about Dungeon World being sold or taken over by Luke Crane and Burning Wheel. Did you guys get that news? Yeah, and it was on our Discord. So if you're on our Discord, you guys might have seen it, and you guys might have had some thoughts. So for some reason, it's not on the Eon World website. It was, because that's where I grabbed it from. Starfighter, Who Hurt, Legend, Dungeon World here. There, maybe there's a typo in the URL in my thing. Strange. I don't know. Something might be the URL. So maybe I'm reading too much into it. There's nothing that no news there. So anyways, Dungeon World gets new owner, second edition planned. Luke Crane has purchased Dungeon World with a partner and plans to publish a new edition. Luke, yeah, not without a little controversy, of course. So Luke says has published Dungeon World from its original creators and has plans to make a new edition of the game. Earlier this month, Crane, who previously designed the Burning Wheel, Mouse Guard role-playing games, Burning Empires as well, throw that in there. Also does collaboration, I think, on Torchbearer, if I'm not mistaken. Announced on the Dungeon World Plus Discord that he had bought the game from the original creators, which are Adam Coble and Sage Latora. Adam Coble definitely has disappeared. And got into some hot water years ago for when he was doing actual live play and got a little cringy, I would say, with a business partner he goes on with it. So he bought it with a business partner, was preparing to work on a new edition, brand new edition. Like dun 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 dun. Dungeon World's back with a brand new edition. Anyways, Crane did not specify whether either Coble or Latora would be involved in the new edition. Didn't specify. Oof. I'll tell you what, if Adam Coble is involved, there's going to be some people with some things to say about it. That's all I'm saying. First edition was released in 2012. And then including in the 2012 Golden Geek RPG of the Year and the ENnie Awards for Best Rules Gold winner in 2013. Game was powered by the Apocalypse system, in which players gain experience points when rolling a 6 or below on a check. Yada yada. The game's co-creator, Adam Koebel, was a prominent creator and early TTRPG personality until accusations emerged of poor behavior by former partners. Crane was previously the head of community at Kickstarter and attempted to run a campaign for the Perfect RPG zine back in 2021. He canceled the campaign after it emerged that Koebel was involved with the project and later resigned from his job as a result of the backlash. Yeah, some dirty stuff. There you go. So, yeah, Dungeon World. Yeah, right then. It's coming. Next up, Weird Tales Shadowdark Game Jam. I missed this. So it's over. It literally ended the 29th of August and ran from August 9th to the 29th. I don't know if I ever brought it up this month or even last month as it was ramping up. But anyways, I bring it up because you could still reap the rewards of Weird Tales Shadowdark Game Jam. To celebrate the incredible success of Shadowdark at Gen Con 2024, where it received 4 Gold ENnie Awards, we're hosting the Shadowdark Weird Tales Game Jam. This jam invites creators to take inspiration from randomly assigned covers of the classic Weird Tales pulp fantasy novelettes from the 20s and 30s. Whether you're a seasoned developer or just getting started, this is your chance to showcase your creativity and contribute to the Shadowdark universe. And here are all the rules, submission guidelines, prizes, and all that stuff. Okay, great, right? So Mr. Man, Eric, Mr. Frank House, I have to sneeze. Oh, pardon me. Had put out a submission where I thought I bookmarked it, but now I see that it's here. Submissions. Oof. Here's the submissions. I don't know if I can find it by glance. Here it is. So there's a lot here. I'm not going to go through all of them. I just know Eric. So here's the, here's the link to the game's jam. And then I will put a link to Eric's submission that you can check out. Check them all out, right? They're all good. All good folks, I'm sure. Good folks, whatever. Putting out stuff for Shadowdark. Because, that hasn't been out of the crazy spotlight on social media recently. That's all I'll say about that. Let's see. What else? Matt Covell. The Draw Steel backer packet is here. People are already creating for this thing. It's like 100 and some page preview that gives out, it's got 5 classes in it. First level. They built a lot more built out in testing, but you folks only get polished, tested stuff, and right now that's 5 classes, only first level, as you will see. So that, you guys, if you're supporters of that crowdfunding campaign, there you go. Matt also went on Twitter and said it was an enormous amount of work getting the rules, the monsters license done by the end of August, but thanks to a colossal amount of effort on the part of everyone at MCDM, all the mods, the testers, we did it. On behalf of me, thank you, of all of you. And he goes on to say, I'm personally incredibly happy with the where Draw Steel is, and I love this team and work everyone is doing. So it talks about the packet, 125 pages of rules, plus monsters and adventure, tons of content. It's only 5 classes in first level, but that's still a ton and enough for folks to make heroes and play. You have more content in progress, but the backers only get stuff once. It's pretty close to final. So there you go. Which is going to be interesting because, where did I mark it? Yeah, I skipped it. But right here. WotC announces third-party creator partners. Which I think, did I bring this up last week? Maybe? We're just going over this. These are the folks that are going to be kind of gotten the green light from Wizards to be able to create this content to D&D Beyond. Griffin, Saddlebag, MCDM, Ghostfire Gaming, Dungeon Dudes, Hit Point Press, Cobalt Press, and Free League. So Free League's going to be doing like the Lord of the Rings for the 5th edition, which they've already done, and they'll be able to put that up there. It even says, includes the official Lord of the Rings role-playing game from Free League. The non-D&D version of the game. Well, okay. Anyways, WotC will be selling the D&D compatible Lord of the Rings on its primary platform. And then they say in 1992, TSR nearly acquired the rights to Tolkien's work and then passed on it. Then CEO Lorraine Williams saying it was not worth our while. Not only that, but I think they had it even sooner than that, according to the podcast. Like, they were not interested in Tolkien at one point. They thought theirs was D&D. Like, they didn't want to do licensed stuff. It's very interesting. So I don't think it was, they might have had the opportunity in 92, but I think it also kind of reared its head before that. And the egos at TSR are just... So anyways, I bring this up. This is interesting because Cobalt Press has Tales of the Valiant, right? MCDM, right, has their own game. So I got to imagine the stuff, like they're not going to, I can't imagine Wizards of the Coast going, oh, Tales of the Valiant, yeah, you can get that right in D&D Beyond. That's not going to happen. So these guys will be working on their own games and the supplements for D&D, apparently. Which is somewhat like Free League, but I don't see Free League as a direct competitor necessarily. Where Tales of the Valiant, kind of. MCDM, maybe. I don't know. Maybe they're just so different. MCDM might be completely different, right? It might be lumped into the Free League bucket for game systems. And then, they do have 5e material. I don't know. Just saying. I don't know. There you go. All right, that's it for RPG news. What'd I miss? Bundles. Should we get into bundles? Bundles. First one up. The Lost Works of Gygax have been unveiled, and apparently they worked through the sands of Egypt and found these. Archaeologists have these always been lost? They are now found. There you go. A lot of Frog God games in there. Amongst other publishers. Necromancer Games, which is part of Frog God. Some of Gary's GFW stuff. I don't know who owns that. Who owns the GFW stuff? GFW? Is it GFW? Duh. So Castles of Crusade from Trollord Games. Yes, it's Shigig. Shigig. So there you go. If you're interested in that, get it. Get it while it's hot. Or cold. Or dusty. Next one up. Free to download Bully Public Games Phones of Glory. Gotta hand it to Jason Morningstar. We're coming up with this idea. Bully Public Games Phones of Glory is a civic engagement game by designer Jason Morningstar. Jason did Fiasco. Also did Witches, shoot, Witches, Night Witches. Night Witches beat you guys. Night Witches. In Phones of Glory, take turns making calls while your friends playfully judge your telephone skills, transitions, performance, composition, and interpretation. Once everyone has had their turn, the player with the highest score wins the coveted prize of choosing the pizza, while the lowest score provides the drinks. So it's how you're basically calling people to go out and vote. That's kind of the thing. There you go. Go and check that out. It's a voter turnout game. There. Doesn't say anything else more than that. You worked in a call center. I don't want to play this. Dude, I do sales, man. All right. I thought it was unique and interesting and worthy of mention. Next one, Dungeon Crawl Classics Starters Pack, $40. You get the original game, rule book. You get Sailors on the Starless Sea, which is everybody recommends as a 0-level funnel. Black Heart of Thuluna, the Undying. DCC Judge's Screen. There you go. There you go. Next up, DCC Dying Earth bundle. Funded in June 2021. Man, over 3 years ago already. Jeez. Seemed like it just came out. Well, considering we're in a hobby where we're playing games that were put out like 40, 50 years ago. So just 3 years ago, not too far, right? Relatively speaking. So go ahead and check that out if you're interested in dipping your toe into the Dying Earth version of Dungeon Crawl Classics. If it's anything like Lankmar, it might have different types of rules and may have a few deviations from core DCC, if you will. I'm not sure. I haven't played it, but there you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. The funnel of bundles. Bundle of funnels. All right. All right. All right. Next, let's cranking. Print news. Oh, that's where I put Eric's stuff. That's why I couldn't find it. Print news. There. So Choice of Life. If you're interested in it, check it out. It's Eric's entry. Eric Frankhouse presents entry into the Weird Tales Shadowdark Game Jam. Shadowdark Game Jam. Ian World's print news. See if we missed anything. First up, Campaign Builder, Castles and Crowns. Campaign Builder, Castles and Crowns map folio by Cobalt Press. This was out on crowdfunding campaign. Now it's out in print. So you can go and buy this. $49.99 US dollars each. Next one, Dragon's Horde. Issue 42 and 43 by Legendary Games. Both 5e compatible. Go check that out. Battle Zoo Eldamon. What is this? Pathfinder and 5e compatible? Hardcover supplements, $60 each. Eldamon are ancient creatures slightly out of phase with reality that like to meld into items, creatures, and locations. Okay, there you go. Very colorful. Ooh, colors. Beasts of Legend Construct Codex by Legendary Games for $13. 13 creepy constructs ranging from CR half to 17 for Black Flag. It's for Black Flag. Delta Green. Oh, what? This escaped me. The Borellus Connection by Pelgrim Press. But Sean, isn't Delta Green by Art Dream Publishing? As a matter of fact, it is. But the Fall of Delta Green was put out by Pelgrim Press. Fall of Delta Green, I believe, was a stretch goal for the original crowdfunding campaign for Delta Green, the RPG. So 415 pages. Wowee! That's something I got to get to the table. I got to check out the Fall of Delta Green. I have it. I mean, if you're going to be a Delta Green fan, got to kind of explore these things, right? It's a campaign of 8 operations set in the 60s. Over 400 pages, hence the price, $65 US. PCs work for or with the United States Bureau of Narcotics and Dangerous Drugs against the heroin trade, and it runs from Southeast Asia to the Middle East to Europe as the agents uncover the sinister machinations of a necromantic cult. Of course. Operations range from assassinations to surveillance to investigations, all while facing human foes and the horrors of the mythos. Whoa. Whoa. Might have to put this on my, because I don't think there's a ton for the Fall Delta Green, if I'm not mistaken. Just saying. So, hey, thanks, Pelgrin. And Gareth Ryder Hanrahan. Sorry, Gareth. Gareth Ryder Hanrahan. Gareth's been around for a long time. He does a lot of work on Night's Black Agents. And with Ken Hite, credited, who put out that book. And does work for Arc Dream, too. Anyways, foul. Number 34, charging. There you go, sports ball reference for all you sports ball nuts out there. System Merc Bori, softcover supplement, $24, includes 0-level rules. Special advancement rules means that as characters are lost, remaining characters are get stronger. Each player begins with 3 to 4 characters that embark on a dangerous mission to the sewers below Grift. So do you want to die? Oh, okay. Whiz Kids. That'd be kind of cool miniatures to have. I got out of the miniatures thing, but you know what? There'd be a couple that I would like on the old desk. Right next to the beholder. 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 Yeah, that's right. I got one. Do you? Neener. $35 each. Ooh, boy. How big are they is the question, right? Am I right? Right. Gold Dragon, 24. Lolth. Some of these I have from the original D&D game. They're probably not as good, but oh, these got to be big, man. $50. It's got to be pretty decent sizes, I'm guessing. Map tiles from Kobold Press. 5th edition. What? Really? For 5th edition tiles? Come on. Can it be for any system? Or do the tiles have rules from 5th edition? Dude, kills me. Oh, too hilarious. Anyways, there you go. What are you going to do? Let me put the link in the darn chat. Remember, if you guys are bailing on me, hit the like button on the way out, would you? Don't let the like button hit you in the butt on the way out. Kristen, good to see you. Rumor has it that the Borealis connection alludes to why Delta Green was shut down during the Vietnam War. I gotta go. Own DG as well, but haven't had a chance to play. Curtis, I got a game run right now with BSers. You missed it, buddy. I'm gonna run it again. I gotta get that back to the table. I had too big a gap recently. Gotta get back. Playing this Thursday. I played Ellen's Cave Fall of Delta Green at the last GHC, and it was fantastic. I should find out if there's a Fall of Delta Green at Gamehole Con. I'd like to play that. Yeah, Orcus is referring to the lack of material for Fall of Delta Green. Nope, just this and free RPG Day scenario is all there. It's for Fall of Delta Green, I think. I have that one. I'm getting this and the other Fall of Delta Green book, but the shipping, dang, right? Sean, please just say Borg, not Bori. It's not the correct pronunciation, Orcus. It's Bori. So, like, if you're going to... Do you want me to just call you Orcus? Dorcus? Right? It's not the same, dude. Let's get it together. But you say butt holder. Ha. Time to work. See you, Hobbsy. We're not there yet, Blake. Good spoiling. The free RPG scenario is a pretty good one. It's cool. Very cool, man. It's Zine, not Zine, right? For sure. Dorcus is going to punch my face off. Nah. He won't. He's from California. No, he won't. He's from California. He won't do that. Sean, there's a guy running Fall Delta Green 3 times this year at GHC called Todd Olson. I know Todd. I played in Todd's NBA game last year. So Todd's big Pelgrim guy. When I interviewed the Merc Burry lad said it's Borg. Did they really? So you talked to the guy? Did they just do it because you're an American though? We went over this on the Vason video. I think sometimes they cater to the audience. Like, oh, he's a silly American, so we got to say Borg. Okay, all right. Otherwise, it'll confuse him. Oh, okay, right?
Right.
All right. Let's see. Let's get into crowdfunding, right? Let's do it. All right. Okay. Okay. We'll start off with this one. This guy. This guy's got a Kickstarter. It's his third one. This guy, Blake Ryan. I heard he's got a lot of potential, this guy. So it's got $1,014 goal. Hey, could you make that a round number? And is that, please, that better be US, right? Too funny. Bronze Age fantasy, weird and wicked fun. Tabletop role-playing game, 15 backers. Let's get that thing up to like 10,000. What do you say, guys? Huh? What do you say? I have this one. This is the second edition for Dragonbane and PBTA. Throw in a buck, you cheap bastards. It's Australian dollars. Like it's like a quarter. You get like US. Just throw. And somebody has just left and never going to come back. Anyways, what do you got here? $20 US, Banshee level, which is the PDF and Dragonbane compatible version. Then you got $20 Changeling level, which is PDF PBTA compatible. So you pick one or the other. And then if you really want to go crazy, then you can go 25 Australian dollars. Ferryman 3, the Ferryman level, 3 PDF plus softcover for Dragonbane. Oh, you got them all broken out. Okay. PDF softcover PBTA core. Okay, so you're either one or the other. Otherwise, you got to do 2 levels though, right? What if I want both? Blake, am I overseeing something? Arrogant says that's probably 5,000 US or Australian dollars. Yeah. Let's make Blake rich. Let's all contribute as kooky Americans. Free Fosters with every backing. What? I didn't see that. Awesome, Blake. That's great. PDF and print Dragonbane and PBTA versions. Okay. Link it back for the Commonwealth. Yeah, we'll put it in there. Blake's like, the whole episode, he's just been like dying to like put that out there. Sean, come on, man. You gonna do it? Yeah, help out Blake. Get him over the top. We can get him over the top. Just us crew, right? We could just like, I don't know, put a paycheck towards it and call it a day. It's nerve-wracking running these things. I see good things for this crowdfunding campaign for you there, Blake. Just saying. All right, let's bow down, right? Let's get Blake to this level, shall we? Come on. I think it's got to start somewhere, right? 14 million. What it go? What it hit? What is it now? It finally done, finished. 40 million? No, that's his novels. 14.5 million. Let's get Blake there. Let's get a campaign going. Let's little grassroots, shall we? It started here. It starts here, Blake. Everywhere I go, I'm just going to tell everybody, hey, I got this guy. He's got this Kickstarter called Don't Pay the Ferryman. $14.5 million. Even Sanderson is blown away at this, which is, I guess, good, right? Like, nothing would turn people off more than like, well, I expected it to 14 and a half. I was really hoping for 16, but whatever. Oh, man. Whew. There's a guy in my group that I play with, Jeff, who's, I think, did he get in on this? I don't know. I think he was on the fence. But he's a Sanderson. Like, I like those books. Oh, Jeff would love them too. It's great. It's like one of the series that Brandon Sanderson writes, but can't remember what it was. But he's like, yeah, he would like it too. I'm like, oh, okay. So there you go. New crowdfunding RPG crowdfunding crown for most bucks. I mean, they did have a 250K level, which I think he was thinking it was going to get a hit. Like, I was hoping it would hit 250K. Oh, man. All right, quick poll. For they're in. Oh, by the way, here's the thing. I think it says it in here. So they surpassed Avatar Legends, but Avatar Legends had the most backers. I think, or had more backers. I don't know if it's the most. Because you could have a crowdfunding campaign and have more backers and make less money, right? So there should be the category for most backers, most revenue, right? Dollar amount. Because I think it was like $350 on this was the average like level. I thought there was am I like overlooking it? I haven't read it, but I thought there was a like mention of that where they were talking about the amount of backers were like not the same as Avatar or close. Here it is. While the backer count is under half that of Avatar, the Cosmere dollar total is currently sitting at nearly 9.8 million. That's when they posted it. And then, yeah. And then he also has the Kickstarter record for the most funded project ever, his novel series, which made 40 million. Man, can you imagine like being Kickstarter and getting a percentage of that and going, yay! Wait till the Smurfs come out. Pay the Ferryman and Smurfs. See you in hell, Sanderson. Just kidding. Hey, that guy's got money, man. He's got FU money. Oh, man. I fully expect the Smurfs RPG Kickstarter to raise more than this one. For sure. I'd rather have the 14 mil, I guess. You know, with 14 mil, you can buy an army. But if you have the amount of people Avatar had, then you have an army. I think a lot of people just found out about the new D&D edition and looked for an off-ramp. Cosmere just happened to be the crowdfunding now. I don't know. No edition of the ElfQuest RPG? Well, I don't know. Avatar was like 2 to 1 more backers. Pledge levels for Sanderson, yeah, 350, I think. Like 350 to 395, maybe? It's crazy. Popular level, the whole shebang. It's 14 million Smurf berries. Yeah, inquiring minds want to know. 14 million isn't enough to start an RPG museum, just saying, right? Come on, Sanderson. What are you going to do with all that money? Put it into making those things. See you, Flint. Good to see you. Look at that, Wayne's. Look at that. The power of influencer. I had influenced Wayne to put Blake on the map. You're welcome. I think Smurfs will score somewhat lower. Somewhat. Jury's still out. We got to see. It's only time will tell. I think Avatar also had something around 9.5. Yeah, for sure. It did. Oh, here it is. Cosmere, 53,000 backers. Avatar, 81,000. So now you take the Avatar backers, put them in the average pledge for Cosmere, and Cosmere would be at probably like $15 million. Or no more than that. Probably 19 million. Look at that. Chris has just bagged Blake's Dragonbane tier, and my boss has told me I was doing a good job. Look at that. Winning everywhere. Winning. Hey, Blake, you're welcome. See? It pays to advertise here. I got to find out my advertising rates. Obviously, I have conversion. If I have like 10 people in the chat and 2 people have converted, hey, 20%? Suck on those numbers, Mr. Beast. Dude, I am out of control. All right, let's see if we missed anything. Sly Flourish, City of Arches. We mentioned that a little while ago because we were talking about Sly and being a good citizen in the RPG hobby. So we, put a little spotlight on Mike Shea's product. Check that out. It's funded at $160K. Good for Mike. Congrats to that, gentlemen. 7C, The Price of Arrogance from Chaosium. 220 euros is the most popular pledge. Holy cow, that's not like low. They just had 7C as like the deal of the day on drive-thru. It was like 75% off, 50% off. Anyways, this is funded. Kedamono Opera from Lion Wing Publishing, original system, $45 plus shipping and handling. Takes you down a different path than many games as you play an ageless soul-eating beast that hunts or helps humans as its nature dictates. You're a huge mythical creature that appears like an oversized rabbit, owl, sharks, or any creature that speaks to you. I would play my dog Seamus. Long live Seamus. It's funded. The Shucked Oyster. This came across my radar for Shadowdark from Black Lodge Games. It's a brothel in town, 200-page book featuring 34 NPCs, including 20 lovable and surly prostitutes to endlessly harangue your players in town. It's funded. Faraway Land role-playing game. Core Rule, 2nd edition. By Simeon Circle Games. $120 average pledge. Woo-wee. And it's funded. Look at that. $1,000 goal. It's at $12,000. Booyah! Booyah! 10th anniversary of Faraway Land is releasing a 2nd edition. This is a science fiction and fantasy TTRPG that uses D6s for rules-like gameplay in a world that has more sci-fi elements than most OSRs. Campaign offers 3 books coming in at 274-page count for the core book, 246 pages for the bestiary, 280 pages for the book lore. Airlock 002 random rolled resources for wardens and players. If you're a Mothership fan, check it out. Looking at you, Nubis. Where are you, Nubis? 32-page RPG Zine. Right?
Right.
Campaign includes a zine with 16 pages of random tables, military base generator, bioform scanner, motion detector, prop, 6 additional paper props, patch, 3 mission briefing brochures, $7,500. Golden Good Girls. Hey. Diceless TTRPG played with real treats. What? Real treats? I'm in. This is the Golden Girls, only you're playing as dogs. Set in the same world as psychic trash detectives, you play as a tight-knit group of unadoptable senior shelter animals living their best lives together at the local shelter, Shady Pines. Shady Pines. Too funny. Too funny. Shady Pines is too funny. It's an internal joke for me. Anyways. It's funded. Check it out. Entromancy Definitive Edition by MS Farzan. D&D 5th Edition variant. Core rulebook, 35 bones. Set in 21st century San Francisco, cyberpunk, futuristic, technology-driven, magic-rich world complete with espionage, spellcasting, hacking, and engaging action sequences. There. Not there yet. Still got 5 days to go as of this recording. Looks like a cool book. That's it. This stream is not sponsored, endorsed, affiliated with any of the folks' website that I have provided, but you should click on their links and support them. Please. Without them, I would be up here talking about the Hall of Fame for an hour. Anyways. A 200-page book on a brothel. Yeah, I think it's probably like an N. Then it's got, prostitutes in it, which is great. I mean, dude, don't snip that. It's not great. It is great. I don't know. I don't know if it's great. I'm going to get myself in trouble if I keep talking. Oh, man. Mike makes good stuff. O'Shea. Look at that. Back Blake Harrigan. Woo, yeah. Look at that, Blake. Should we go over there and see if he's funded already? Blake? What? Don't Pay the Ferryman's at $1 million? Sweet. I figured it would be. 7th Season Enigma. I don't know anyone playing it, but I wish I did. I have one friend playing it, but he's using a hack of Brindlewood Bay rules. 7th Sea's okay. It was super popular in Europa. Whoa, some strong support for Shadowdark for a young game. I don't know anyone who's playing 7th Sea with actual 7th Sea rules. As faraway lands like Adventure Time artwork. Looks like Adventure Time artwork. Does a little bit. Have a great day. See you, Kev. Illustrated. Zine. Pronunciation. Nail scratching across chalkboard. Never let anybody know what annoys you. Never, ever. Never, ever let them know what's getting under your skin. Never. Wayne, you let me know. Mistake, buddy. And that's all I saw of Wayne ever again. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Sean Kelly. It's his last name. I know him. I could dox him. I keep threatening to run psychic trash detectives at local con. You can use a garbage can as a resolution mechanic. What? Get out of the town. We need to get an update. How's Augie? He's struggling, dude. He's struggling. But he's still with us. He's, we're kind of, yeah, he's not, he's okay as in as far as a cat goes, but it's just not going to get any better. 7th Sea will have big news early next year. Shh, it's secret. Uh-oh, Michael. He knows something. Come on, Michael. All games better using Fate rules. There you go. Hot take. Tim Jensen, new edition. It's back with a brand new edition. Been playing 7th Sea in person that last couple weeks. The theme is okay, but the rolling mechanic for combat is slow. Thanks, Ted. Well, we're going to wrap this sucker up, man. Let's wrap her up, shall we? I heard Blake likes it when you call it GIF, not GIF. Definitely does not feel heroic, Victor says. All right. I want to thank all of these fine individuals for supporting me with a few shekels each month. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I want to thank each and every one of you. Yeah, you. For showing up to this fine morning stream live. And hey, you know what? If you came after the live stream, I want to thank you for showing up as well. Thank you very much. Okay? Sometimes I don't think I recognize you folks that don't come to the live stream, and I apologize for that. Thank you. Thank everybody. Yeah, it's Labor Day weekend here in the U.S. I hope everybody has a good holiday weekend, a peaceful one, if you will. Thank you very much. I will check you out. I'll be next week, Saturday, 8 a.m. Central Time. Be here again. We'll talk all about new stuff, what's going on as well. So remember, be a positive force in tabletop RPG hobby. Spend some time with people you know and love and appreciate. Spend some time to yourself. You just need a little peace and tranquility. Namaste. Yeah. All right. And with that, I'll let you guys go with that sultry, peaceful NPR voice. See you on the next one.